Life is good, isn't it? I'm really glad I made that last video. And who would have known? It was just a random middle of the night adventure, but I've been reading every single comment and I'm just like astonished by how much people had to say, like how relatable it was. It really gave everyone kind of a platform to express themselves. And like burnout, it pretty much hits everyone, right? At some point in our lives. But I will say, after that video, I've been feeling really good, really energized from all the support and just the ability to express those things. And like we got a bunch of pre-orders and like the Patreon is up to like 85 euros now a month. It's just astonishing. I really appreciate that. And also just this wave of new energy and kind of like new confidence. I've been coming up with a lot of new VOIMA ideas and how we'll be able to separate it from Minecraft, finally. Because I realized there's a lot of like things that I'm doing just like Minecraft, like the blocks, carrying the blocks in the hopper, like that, all that stuff's gonna get out. So I got plans for that. And let me make this very clear. I will never give up on VOIMA. That's not what that previous video was about. There's literally no way that I could ever give up the vision that I have, but also this pursuit, this hobby, this lifestyle. Like I love how every day I get to work on VOIMA, and that means designing, like trying to think of new ideas, new ways to play the game, new ways to expand it, like bring it to its own life, not live in shadows of other games like Minecraft and this format, but to truly come out of it as something brand new. Because I remember when I first found Minecraft and there was nothing like it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have that same experience. Life before Minecraft and then finding Minecraft. And I've always been trying to chase that high, that memory, that experience, that feeling. And I feel like with VOIMA, I can bring that to people, but also a lot of people. Because I don't believe this game will stay as a niche, underground, specific game. I think it'll really expand to a lot of people. And with that, it'll be a platform for a lot of people, for their creativity, for their feelings, emotions, for their friendships. So that's what a sandbox is. It's a empowering place, an ecosystem. And I also say this, a few months ago, the first time when it's been like, okay, I don't have enough money for my rent, how am I gonna clutch this? I didn't have any worry about it, actually. Because I am a believer. I talk to God almost every day. I try my best, and I truly believe that what I'm working on is my purpose, and that it's fruitful and that it's good for people. And I know that I'll be getting help with that from God. That's how it's felt like. There's been a lot of miracles on this journey, a lot of transformation, a lot of growth, a lot of new knowledge, new spirit. So I'm really grateful for this lifestyle. And also it's like, I genuinely believe this is the next Minecraft. And what does that mean? Well, it means it's something completely brand new. It's empowering, it's fruitful, and it'll reach the masses. And so naturally, I do believe I will be a multi-millionaire eventually in my lifetime. And that as long as I don't stop working on VOIMA, VOIMA will produce that. And so these moments in my life right now where I don't have much money at all, and I'm literally counting coins, counting cents, I'm collecting like bottles that I can recycle for money here in Finland. Like I cherish every single euro I get, every single pre-order, every single Patreon member, and that there's a lot of genuine richness in that gratitude. And it's like a fun adventure. I just see life as like a video game like that. And also this is a great opportunity for me to improve my soul on like greed. Because right now I don't have a lot of money. I could take the approach like, oh, I need more money. I gotta hold tightly to this money. I gotta be greedy. Like if somebody needs my help, if a friend doesn't have enough money either and they need some food, I could just say, no, I need this more. But no, there's been plenty of opportunities like that where I've given my own money to help others even when I don't know how I'll pay for my own things in the near future. But as I said, I believe in doing good things, helping people, helping humanity, and in return, God takes care of us. I believe in that. And in a weird way, very weird way, I am grateful that Notch did sell out, that he did sell out Minecraft to a corporation, the most corporate, greedy corporation, Microsoft. Even though it crushed my childhood spirit, my childhood role model, I'm grateful that it showed us that selling out, that giving up something empowering, something helpful, something good for money is not the way. Look at Notch. Do you really think he's happier now than in the first 1 or 2 years of making Minecraft? We obviously know money, it can really make your life sad. And so I vow 2 things. I will never sell VOIMA, no matter what the offer is. Minecraft got sold for $2 billion. And did you know Notch is half finished? I'm 2 times that finished. I guess VOIMA's doubled the cost, huh? $5 billion, and it still wouldn't be enough. But no, I literally won't sell it, because it goes back to my purpose and my lifestyle. Why would I give up a part of myself? What would I do without VOIMA? For money? What would I do with the money? If it was possible, with that money, I would buy VOIMA and this lifestyle and this purpose and this creative outlet. And so it's really not about the money. And so the second thing I vow and I promise is that with all the riches that we get, I will invest it into bigger things, fruitful things. So, I think about Notch. He's got plenty, over $1 billion right now. Imagine how much you could do with $1 billion. If I had that amount of money, my personal dream and aspiration is maybe 10, 20 years in the future from now, is to build this sort of art school commune based on faith. And what that means is I would use my money to build housing, and I wouldn't charge rent for it. And it's oh, who would do that? You can't get your money. But that's the thing. I'll sacrifice my money because I already have enough money at that point. I'll gladly sacrifice for something good. So imagine going to an art school where the school encourages you and directs you to bigger creative accomplishments. And at the same time, you don't have to worry about paying your rent. And so you'd get free housing, go to the art school. But this would also be this community commune that's self-sufficient on food, electricity, water. And so nobody has to worry about buying food, paying their rent. You can just purely focus on the spiritual, artistic path. That is my dream. And if I get that Notch level money, that is exactly what I would use it for. I wouldn't wait on it. I wouldn't sit on my money, because that's not the right thing to do. Because all the money that I collect, it's not my money, it's God's money. And how would God want to use that money? Well, he'd probably help everybody. That's how I see it. And so I'm very grateful for this era of being broke, because I get to really cherish the value and the usage of money. Because there will be a point where I won't go back to being broke. I'll have enough money for the rest of my life. I believe that's going to happen. And so I'm just really grateful for where I am right now. And I'm grateful I got to express my moment of weakness, moment of burnout. And I'm really grateful that I got to express that, because it reflected on a lot of you guys watching it. And I read the comments. There's amazing comments in there. I suggest you guys to read the comments there too, because there's a lot of inspirational stuff that applies to all of us. And advice on burnout. Man, life is good, man. Life is really good. And I'm just really grateful to have this life and grateful to be who I am. And the beautiful thing about that is I've gone through a lot of hardship outside of VOIMA, family stuff, family deaths or whatever, a lot of relation stuff, a lot of trauma or tragedies. But in moments like this where I feel full of purpose, full of direction, full of possibility, I'm grateful for everything good and bad that happened because it led me right here. And this is perfect. Man, God bless. God bless. And yeah, I've been getting a lot of new creative wind for VOIMA, a lot of new design choices, and my next video will be talking about that. I got some really big things planned. Some like experimental stuff, but it makes complete sense in VOIMA. It breaks from the format, the pattern of Minecraft, and this style that I'm going for, it wouldn't be possible in Minecraft because this isn't Minecraft, it's VOIMA. And that's the thing I'm trying to realize, like the comments say, like don't compare yourself to Lucid Blocks or Minecraft. Like VOIMA is VOIMA, it's its own thing. And so I did fall for the trap of like chasing the audience, chasing the crowd. Whereas like, oh, people keep asking for survival, let's add survival, but oh wait, this survival isn't actually VOIMA, it's copying Minecraft to kind of like quickly satisfy the current audience. And so I'm grateful that it took 5 years for anyone to find the game, because it gave me a lot of space, a lot of quietness to just follow my own voice, and my own vision, and my own feelings. And I kind of got to get back to that. And I think I'm on the right path again. So this was a great learning experience for sure. And it's like nothing's lost. Nothing's lost. It's a new day. We move forth. And also the marketing, I think I'm going to step back from like Instagram and TikTok. Even though they have my biggest followings, like 50,000 people, the type of content you make there is just like, I feel like VOIMA can't really be itself. Because like those platforms, the short format video content, it's all about like gaining attention and quick satisfaction, and not something deep and meaningful and soulful. So it's like hard to get the VOIMA vision onto there. And by doing that, because I was chasing the views, the followings, I kind of went into the trap of like following other patterns, other people's like formats, going like Mr. Beastie with the video updates. Yeah, that's not the way. I just gotta be myself. And personally, I don't even use Instagram really, so it doesn't make any sense for me to be on there. Also, another thing, the new Patreon members, guys, I've never used Patreon, so I actually don't know how I should be using it. I know you can make posts on there and stuff, but like if you guys have any ideas on how I could kind of like reward the Patreon members, kind of like create our own thing on Patreon or whatever, like let me know, because I don't really have much ideas. And the thing is, I don't want to create FOMO or like gatekeep. So one thing I could do is make exclusive videos, exclusive live streams. But I don't want to gatekeep stuff like that. Like I want to empower all of us. I want to give all of us the chance. It shouldn't be based on money and classism. So like one option I could do, which is kind of in the gray area, is like I could do exclusive Patreon live streams, and then after a month I'll upload them to YouTube for everyone. That's something I could do, but it still feels a bit off, you know? Because I really don't want to create this classism, this exploitation. And I love how right now VOIMA is free to play, because everyone can try VOIMA and play it. And that's really the beauty of pre-orders, because there's people like on the previous video that commented I should just release the game right now on Steam early access. But that would gatekeep the game, and I feel like that's gonna happen eventually. Like I gotta do that, but right now this is a very beautiful time where everyone can enjoy VOIMA. And so as long as the pre-orders can fund that, I'll happily keep it free to play. And then when I do release it, I'm sure there'll be a big wave of people buying it, because not everyone pre-orders. Like personally, I haven't pre-ordered anything in my life. And I've seen comments that say like, I've never pre-ordered anything, but I pre-ordered VOIMA. And that's really cool. Because I'm just some random guy in Finland making a game, and the pre-orders are on my website. Like, that's a lot of like trust or just support. Like I really appreciate it. I'm really astonished by how many pre-orders we've gotten. Because I'm just a guy living my life, trying to create my childhood dream game. Yeah. But I guess people really see the soul in it. And that's what counts. That's what counts. Awesome. Man, there's a bunch of mosquitoes here. I'm like right by the lake. It's a really cool spot. I wanted the lake to be in the background, but it would make my face fully black, so I couldn't really make it work. Look at that. Damn. Life is truly amazing. And this, 6 years in, this is just the beginning of VOIMA. So I'm grateful that y'all are so early in this journey. I'm sure it'll be very encouraging to see how much we will grow together. And in Jesus' name, long live VOIMA!